Hi everyone, welcome to the CodeQueryHub. So in this video, let's understand subqueries in SQL. So first of all, what is a subquery? So a subquery is a query inside another query. That's why it is also known as nested queries. Now, these are mainly of two types. So first one is your self-contained subquery and second one is your correlated subquery. In this video, we will focus on the self-contained subquery. So what is a self-contained subquery? So this type of query does not depend upon the outer query. It runs independently. And it is further subdivided into two parts. First is ordinary subquery and second one is your inline subquery. So ordinary subqueries are written inside select, where and having clauses, while inline subquery is written in the from clause. Now let's understand them with the help of examples. So let's take our databases first. Let's try to work on the orders database. First, make it active. And now let's try to see our data set. So for that, we are having the basic select query, that is select all from table name. Just select it and execute. So yes, this is our data set and we are having these columns: reference number, order date, customer name, category, product, sales and profit. And we are having total 22 rows inside this data set. Now let's understand the self-contained subquery one by one. So let me write it as, and we are working on the ordinary subquery first. So let me take an example to understand it. Suppose we want to have the percentage distribution of sales for each category. So let me write it as find the percentage distribution of sales for each category. So how you will find it? First of all, how will you calculate the percentage? So for calculating the percentage, we must have the category wise sales and then divided by overall sales and multiplied by 100. So this is the method, or we can say formula, to calculate the percentage. Now, let's take the how to approach this problem. First, let's copy it. So how to approach this problem? First of all, what columns we need to solve this problem? That is sales and category column. So let me show these columns only first. Category and dot sales. Just select it and execute it. So yes, you can see that categories are repeating here. So we need to first group them and calculate the sales category wise. So for that, we are having the aggregate function sum, as it will give you the category wise sales. And one more thing, if you remember that if in a select statement, we are having the non-aggregated and aggregated columns. So all the non-aggregated columns will come up in the group by clause. So let me write it as this one. Just select it and execute it. So yes, you can see that you are having the category wise sales for each category. So we have done till now, but what we need? We need the total sales also. So let me calculate it. Just copy this. So instead of all, we need just sum of sales. Or we can also write it as table name dot column name and execute. So yes, this is your total sales. Just copy this value. Now to calculate the percentage distribution, instead of total sum, we need what? We need divided by this value, category sales divided by this value and multiplied by 100. So let me write it as multiplied by 100. So this will give you what? Percentage sales. Or you can say the percentage sale distribution. Just selected and execute. So yes. Now this is the required output. What you want? The percentage sales distribution for each category. So this is your static approach because you have to first calculate the total sums and you are dividing that value. But what if the sales value in the data get changed? It will give you the wrong output in that case. So you need a dynamic query which can calculate every time the total sales and will give you the correct value. So let me write it as it is the static approach and let me write the query dynamically with the help of subqueries. So just copy this query. So we have calculated this value with the help of this query. So instead of writing this value, we are writing the query here. Now what it will do, this query will find out the total sales every time and will give you the correct percentage distribution of sales dynamically. Now let me select it and execute it. Wait, okay. You don't need here A because we have not defined. Just execute it. Yes. So if I write it here as and execute it. So yes, we can see we are having the same output in both the cases. Now let's write it in where clause. Let me take an example first. So select outcome, table. So where is used to basically having the filter on the categorical data. So suppose if you want to show the top 3 products in accordance with the sales. Let me write the question as show the data for top 3 products by sales. So how do you do it? Let me write this query. And first of all, just write the columns, required columns here. So you need product column here and the sales column here. A dot product and A dot sales. Yes. And you can see that products are repeating. So the same approach, we have to first group by product and then calculate the product by total sales. So for that, we can use the aggregate function sum. And you can see this is the product sales. And group by non-aggregated column is your product column. So now just select it and execute. So yes. So these are your product wise sales. Now top 3 products, you have to, for getting the top 3 products, you have to first sort the data in descending order of sales. So let me write it as order by sales in the descending order. So yes. So we can see that binders, machine and phones are our top 3 products. So let me write it as top 3 and execute. So yes. Now we want to show the data for these 3 products. So how do we filter it? Select all from table name where A dot product. And to have the filter on the categorical data, we are having the multi-valued function, that is n. And let me write the names as binders or machines or and executed. Let me wait. We don't need to write this one. Just select it and execute. Yes. So this is the data for the top three products. But this is the static approach. Again, if the value of sales in the data get changed, then the product will also be changed. So let me write it dynamically so that it will calculate the top three products every time we run the query and will find out the correct output. So this is your static approach. And this is also a lengthy process. First, you have to calculate the top three products and then you have to find the data in according to that products. So let me write it dynamically with the help of subqueries. So for that, let's copy this one. Now, how do you calculate these products with the help of this query? So instead of writing the products directly, we will write the query for calculating the top three products. So let me write it as this one. And we just need products here, not sales. So let me remove it. And okay. And so instead of prod sales, now we can write it as sum of prod sales. Check. Let me check. Okay, so yeah, no need to mention the comma here. So just execute it. Yes. So we can see that we are having the same output in both the cases. So this is a single query and it is dynamic also. It will give you the correct output, but this is your static and it's a two-way process also. And if the value of sales get changed, then it will give you the wrong output in that case. So in this way, you can write it with the in the where clause for filtering out the categorical variants. Now let's write in having clause. So let me take an example. Suppose we want to have the customers whose total sales is above the overall average sales. Let me write the question as find the details of only those customers whose total sales is above overall average sales. So now what we need? We need the details, means data for all those customers whose total sales is above the overall sales. So first, let's copy this one. So yes, this is your original data set. Now, so we need reference number and customer details. We need customer name also. And sales, A dot sales. Execute. Yes, this is all what is needed. So we need customer-wise total sales. So first we have to write the sum of A sales and wait. So there is non-aggregated and aggregated columns. So group by these two columns. Just selected and execute. So now we are having the customer wise total sales. So we need the details of those customers whose total sales is greater than the overall average sales. So we also need to calculate the average sales. So average of sales from this table. Just select it and execute. So yes, this is your average sales, overall average. Just copy it and write. So this is your total sales. Now you need to filter these values on the basis of overall sales, but these are the aggregated values. So to filter on the aggregated values, we are having the having clause. So group by this one, and you have to filter this column with the help of where sum of sales is greater than overall sales, means this value. So let me write this value as this. Now just execute it. So yes, these are the customers whose total sales is greater than this one, means 4126. So in this way we can calculate the details. But again, this is a static way. If this value changed, then the output will be wrong. Let me write it as static one, and let me write the dynamic. So again, let's copy this one. Now we have to calculate this value, and this value is calculated with the help of this query. So let me copy this query, and instead of writing this value, we can write the query so that it can process separately every time when we calculating the overall sales. So let me execute it. Wait. I think this must be, wait. Just selected and executed. So yes, we can see these are 11 customers whose total sales is greater than the overall average sales. So in this way, we can write the query in the dynamic manner. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to CodeQueryHub and follow this channel for more such videos. Thanks for watching.